Meme coins are going crazy. We've got a token that's up 1100% in just 2 weeks. We're going to cover that, how we're going to use it with DLMMing, and also there is DEX that I really suggest you use because you get rewarded. Let's dive in and let's get amongst it. Let's just start with this one here. This is GP. This is Graphite protocol, and this has basically been around for years and years, since the previous cycle, 2021. It's connected to Solport Tom, who's now working on letsbonk.fun. And basically the token's just it's gone absolutely crazy. Like, it's now $4.50, and I was looking at it on a stream a little while ago, and I basically saw it come up to like a $30 million market cap. And after that, I was like, well, that's kind of crazy. It dropped on down like 20, and I said, well, you know, given that recently it was like 1 or 2, and then it was 8, I just thought it wasn't worth it. Since then, of course, like, it's just gone absolutely nutty. Within 3 weeks, it's up 1700%. And the volume isn't crazy. The volume's decent enough that you could make some sizable gains with the DLMM model. We're looking at, in 24 hours, $22 million worth of volume. Like, it's pretty magical, to be perfectly honest. And this all relates to Memecoin wars, and it all relates to Bonk Fund doing really well. So all the links will be below. I suggest, this is my gameplay. This is not financial advice, but my suggestion is, as long as Bonk is taking market share, GP will probably do well. So we can see here over the last, well, couple of weeks, Let's Bonk has just been increasing. And down here, Pump.Fun has been decreasing. And this is essentially what's the most valuable thing. You can see all of the different meme coins coming out from different launch pads. Dupe Studio is lagging behind, but I think they're going to do okay. And I do think Pump is still going to make a bit of a comeback. But this is what we want to see here. The Pump Fund volume, 42 million, Launch Lab 7, and Bonk Fund is $165 million worth of volume. Then Bonk itself is trading really, really well. And then the Pump Fund active addresses versus Let's Bonk, you can see the amount of attention on Twitter is going to Let's Bonk. And this all relates to fees. And these fees are what are used to buy back Bonk, which is why we hold Bonk. And they also are used to buy back GP, which obviously doesn't have any other kind of proper utility as far as I'm aware, but it's going up because it has buybacks. That's essentially the value proposition. And this is the next bit of data we have. The revenue in Sol, 7.67% goes into the GP reserve. My understanding, and I could be wrong on this, but my understanding is they buy back GP and it just sits there. I don't know how it's going to be utilized. Some of it would probably be distributed to the NFTs. And I'm not really concerned about that because it's not super clear and it'll take quite a bit of research. And it's just not what we're going to put our attention on. But the whole thesis with Let's Bonk is the creators aren't really rewarded very well, not compared to Dupe Studio. However, the ecosystem does get a whole lot of love. And this is what we want to show here. So Bonk holders is almost at 1 million. And when they do, they go and burn like 1 trillion Bonk or something quite sizable. And holder growth is increasing. But this is it here. This is 24-hour buybacks of GP. And this has just got a bit of a ripple effect or a flywheel. So they know, the market knows that buybacks are happening because Solport Tom has said it's happening. So there's this extra amount of oomph from the community just buying it because, you know, buybacks are going to happen regardless. And we're looking at 92,000 at present in 24 hours. It's crazy. This is now at a $300 million market cap, essentially. So there is plenty of risk. But at the same time, you know, this is a utility token or Graphite protocol powering the future of creators on the blockchain. It's basically a token which is almost becoming like just a meme coin in terms of it only goes up. They could rebrand a little bit. They could make memes that would suggest it only goes up only. And maybe that could potentially work. It's already done really, really well. And it will continue to do well as long as letsbonk.fun actually continues to increase its market share. If they start to lose, if this starts to go down, just take a screenshot of this every day. And if this starts to decrease and if Pump starts to increase, then you know that GP could have a little bit of difficulty. Right now, because what I'm seeing on crypto Twitter, you've got Bonk, Cadence, and of course you've got Solport Tom just trying to amplify this. That's why Bonk is doing well as well. I have gone ahead and I've entered into, with HawkFi, a system where I can auto compound and just put the fees back in here. I've put in like $600 or thereabouts, buying the dip. These are the levels that I've just decided to go with. This is all the way down to $2.90, and then selling all the way up to like $5.77. So as long as we stay in this range, we'll keep on earning fees. And with HawkFi, it will auto compound. You can add other things. You could add a stop loss. You could add a take profit if you want to. You can kind of set this and forget this a little bit. And as long as this flywheel keeps on going, and there's nothing to suggest it's going to stop, of course, we've got to be aware of, other companies coming back. But right now, the flywheel is good. And so I think this will end up printing some fees with all that volume. So that's the first thing that I want to mention today. The other thing is I want to talk about OKX and their DEX. So I'll start off with Aspecta, which is something I've done a little bit of research into, and they're just doing a token generation event. We'll have to see how it goes after token generation. There may be a bit of trading volume, may want to jump into a DLMM here. This is essentially a dApp which allows you to go ahead and issue something before token generation event to your community so they have upside in the token. And this one is scheduled to do, I don't know what it is, I didn't work it out exactly, like a 60x from its launch of 30 million FDV. And what they've got is they have a media DLMM pool, but you have to be whitelisted. How you get there is by using the OKX wallet, which is a multi-chain wallet, and also using their DEX. So this is kind of stopped right now, but I'm just putting it on your radar because in the previous one, it did like a 10, 20x with Soon. So if you use it and if you manage to get like a raffle spot, you could enter in with some capital and it really worked out well. Same thing here. And ultimately, you're going to use a DEX. You may as well be rewarded, right? And it's a DEX aggregator similar to Jupiter, but it does all blockchains. So what you had to do here is you had to have some volume, you had to get raffle tickets, and then you get randomly selected. I'll let you know of the next one, but I'm just suggesting, put OKX wallet on your radar, give it a go, and use the DEX. So I definitely suggest that you check this out, because if they do more agreements where you can get rewarded, you're basically putting in $30 or something small like that and turning into $2,000 if you're lucky enough to get one of those raffle tickets for like the first 5,000 or whatever, providing, of course, it launches at a low FDV, which this one is. As an example, we've got like a swap, and we also have integration with Bridge. It's not available in every part of the world though. And this goes via D-Bridge and other bridges as well. And there's some cool other things, and we can talk about these another day. I'm just putting on your radar and just saying as a call to action, use it because you can be rewarded with it. So what's happening with Aspecta is I've got this DLMM pool. You need to be whitelisted, and if you're not, then you can't get in. But they're going to start trading by the looks of things in like a day. And you're basically buying these things at a really low market cap just as a kind of incentive program, as an idea. And then what you do with Aspecta is you buy these keys, and then you can sell those keys for BNB. This is on BNB, and then their tokens on Solana, so a little bit slightly confusing, but not too bad. You can redeem them or sell them for BNB, or you can redeem these once the token generation event happens for ASP. And I think it's pretty neat, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's perfect, but it does allow you as a community to try and give out or give access to people to buy into your community at a lower price or before things kind of explode. And then, of course, there's a bit of explosion ability. However, I haven't done my research into these particular projects, but some of them could be interesting. This one is backed by like a subsidiary of Binance, so I think it's worth certainly having a look into. With this, what I want to show you is one key you can sell for 12 or redeem for 12 ASP once it's live in a day. And the keys are selling for $8.70, which puts us at literally like $30 into like $1,800 or something quite insane. So that's what I want to put onto your radar. So this is what I'm doing as a sum up. I'm DLMMing GP. It's got volume and it's got a buyback mechanism. I don't know who the whales are. I don't know when they're going to start selling. So I'm just being mindful of that. And then the other thing I'm doing is OKX DEX. Check out OKX Wallet as well. I still use Solflare, but OKX Wallet is good if you want to do a multi-chain system. And if you can get these raffle tickets are for future projects are literally like $30 turning into $1,000 or $2,000 if there's enough hype with them. That's everything. Let me know your thoughts below. And if you're not trying out DLMM tech, then please give it a go. I've got tutorials on that as well.